We believe that we need to be an active educator and contributor to financial literacy and awareness to the residents of our local communities. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or opening a checking account, we want you to feel comfortable coming into our bank to meet with our client services team. It's important to have a local banking relationship and truly knowing your banker.
Sitting down with a mortgage lender is really important. You're not just applying for financing, you're starting a new story in your life. You're starting a new future. Education is key. You should set the expectation from your lender that that person is your guide. That person is knowledgeable and wanting to set with you every part of the process. Not someone that is just trying to get through the process, but someone that's knowledgeable of it. You can't have education unless you have honesty and transparency. Hey, this is where you're trying to be. This is the payment that you want. This is the down payment that you're trying to, that you have saved up. You want down payment assistance. Yes, that information is critical, but sometimes your lender also has to have truthful, honest conversations and set realistic expectations. We all want $1 million+ home. We all don't want $1 million+ payment. So make sure that your lender is not only there for the short goal of getting you into this house, but also preparing you for your long goals.
Budget is one of the first conversations and one of the biggest conversations we have throughout the process. It's something that a lot of people don't want to look at, but that you have to look at. And the thing with budget, when you're looking at mortgage, is that you have to look at short-term and long-term. And what I mean by that is that where you're at right now is not where you're going to be 2 or 3 years down the road. And that may mean more income, so maybe you can look at a little bit more house now. Or it may mean more expenses later. Do you have student loans that are in deferment? Sooner or later, those have got to be paid back. Or kids coming into the picture. They're expensive. So we want to look at those things, and we not only want to look at what you need right now, but we want to look at what you need down the road and make sure that we bring both of those things together when we're building your story around your home. One of the most important parts of the budget when it pertains to mortgage is drawing that hard line and sticking to it. And one of the toughest conversations I have a lot of times is sitting down with someone and going, hey, I know you love this house, but when we sat down 30 days ago and began to go through everything, you said this is what you wanted to spend. It's my job to hold you to that. Your budget is part of your story. And as we're helping you write the chapters of that story, it's something that's really, really important to us to sit down and make sure we write it correctly from the beginning.
We focus a lot on credit education. There's a gap there. And not only as lenders, but as a bank, we are involved in our schools to help educate. You can't really start soon enough on those things. And a lot of people really don't understand what makes up credit, what makes up a credit score. Many people don't know there's a difference between a consumer credit report and a mortgage credit report. Many people know that payment history affects their credit scores, but a lot do not know that one of the biggest factors other than that is credit balances. And what I mean by that is, let's say someone's got a $5,000 credit limit and they owe $4,900. Even if they pay that every month on time, that is going to negatively impact their credit score. So when possible, paying that down below 50% of the credit line, ideally below 30% of the credit line, is going to have a positive effect and do a really good job of helping to boost those credit scores. Another thing is a blend of credit, meaning that not just credit cards or not just installment loans like auto loans or bank loans or mortgages, but having a blend of credit is going to also boost credit scores. One of the things we hear all the time is we'll talk to clients and we hear, I meant to start this a year ago or 5 years ago, but I wanted to work on my credit. And oftentimes when we look at that credit report or that credit profile, they probably could have started 4 or 5 years ago and just didn't realize it. So you don't have to go this alone. Our lenders have looked at thousands and thousands and thousands of credit reports, and we can give direction on that. A lot of times there's really nothing you need to do. It's just getting started and getting that first step, making that phone call, connecting with one of our lenders to have an evaluation, to go through that and look and see kind of where you're at. And if there are things that you do need to improve on, we can give direction on that. But the biggest thing is we don't want anyone to self-medicate their credit. We want them to have the opportunity to talk to one of our professional lenders and get direction on where they need to go. I had a client that years ago came to me, and unfortunately they had went through a life event. It happens. People get sick. People lose jobs. We don't want it to, but it happened. His son had been diagnosed with leukemia, and they had kind of borrowed from Peter to pay Paul to make ends meet. They had to do it. The great news, other than the credit part, is that his son was in recovery and everything, but his credit scores had taken an impact. So we sat down, we looked at everything, we got him a roadmap, and within 18 months, his scores were high enough, and he had the reserves and everything ready to buy their home. And that's just something I will never forget, working with them. And the biggest thing is that he took that first step. He got past that fear. Too many times credit becomes our identity, and we think if we're going to be told something we don't like, and that means there's something about us that's not good, and that's just not the case. I've looked at credit reports for over 30 years. I've never seen a credit report that could not be fixed.
As our mortgage team does our credit skills training, we also spend a lot of time with just general financial literacy training in our local communities. Our client services advisors, as well as our other bank associates, love getting out and actually teaching financial literacy, whether it be training adults or training our students. We believe that financial literacy starts at a young age. And if you start those basic credit skills, that understanding, you practice that as an adult.
We know that if our communities are thriving, we're thriving. That's the reason that we are so adamant about getting into our communities, whether that's in the schools, whether that is at home buyer seminars. We get out there and we hammer the education piece of it.
We have a commitment with the community. Our goal that we strive in is not just to be another community bank. We want to be the bank that's in the community. We have partnerships that we are really involved in. One of my favorites is the Salvation Army. Another partnership that we are involved in, of course, is Jackson Public Schools. On a monthly basis, we offer financial education to our participants. We give them the opportunity to be engaged as well. A lot of times they may have situations, or they may know family members that may have situations that may be too embarrassed to discuss. We give them the opportunity to bring it to the table. We discuss it, and hopefully we have a map, a road map that's ironed out for them to be successful clients in the future. As we strive to make better communities, we have products and services that can help individuals who are interested in continuing to be a part of their community. Come along and be a part of Story Financial Partners. We are the community. We are about the community. We have stories to tell, but we are really, really interested in the stories that you have to tell in the future.